Do not waste your time becoming a licensed practical nurse. If you know that you want to go into nursing, go straight for registered nursing. Becoming an LPN is making things harder for yourself. You're not going to have as many opportunities. You're going to be extremely limited and you're going to regret it. If you are an LPN or are thinking of becoming an LPN, you have most definitely heard these statements from somebody in your circle at some point. There are so many different misconceptions around being an LPN, how much we can make, our options, not only to advance financially, but even educationally. And there's so many different reasons why people may choose the LPN route instead of the RN route. Now, I'm not here to convince you on which route to choose. I'm just here to share my story on why I became an LPN, and hopefully I can give you a better understanding of what being a practical nurse is. And if you are going the LPN route and are becoming a little discouraged or confused about whether or not you made the right decision, hopefully this will open your eyes and help you make sure that you're making an informed decision that works best for you in the long run. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new, my name is Kiara, and on this channel we talk about nursing, beauty, lifestyle, and content creation. So I've been a licensed practical nurse now for the past 5 years, and I'm going back to get my RN. Now, there are a few different reasons why I chose to go back for my RN, but for the most part, it's not what most people think it is. Now, we'll talk a bit about that towards the end of the video, but I wanted to talk to you guys specifically about why I chose to become an LPN and why the LPN route is what worked for me. So the first reason why I decided to become an LPN instead of an RN first was because of lack of prerequisites. Now, at the time, I was in a place where I absolutely needed to move. I had a great family, but at the same time, they were a little bit overbearing, and it was stopping me from having the clarity that I needed to be able to move forward with the things that it is that I wanted to do. And also, nursing wasn't my only priority at the time. There were other ventures that I wanted to embark on that weren't around nursing. And I knew that I needed to be able to move out so that I could create a space for myself where I could have the peace of mind to move forward in my own personal endeavors. I knew I didn't have the prerequisites, and I knew it was going to take me at least 6 months to a year to complete. And at the time, I was wondering, why would I spend a year doing prerequisites when I could already be a year into my 2-year LPN program? Now, I'm an LPN in Canada, so our LPN or RPN programs are typically 2 years here as opposed to the United States. If you want a Canadian versus US LPN and RN comparison, I'll leave a video up here that you can click on if you want to get a full breakdown of that, of the differences between the two when it comes to education, options, and salary. Now, the second reason why I went for my LPN instead of my RN is because I wasn't sure if nursing was what I wanted to do. Some people are lucky enough to walk right out of the room with a stethoscope in their hand, knowing that they're gonna be a doctor someday. Some of us, on the other hand, are not that lucky, and I was definitely one of them. I definitely could see myself working in healthcare, but I didn't know if nursing was exactly what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to be a pathologist at some point, so yeah, fun fact. But I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do, and so going the LPN route was a way for me to stabilize myself financially, give myself options, and be within a field that I knew I wanted to be a part of. But I knew that it would also be a way for me to really figure out if nursing is what I wanted to do before I take on the responsibility of being a registered nurse, because the higher you climb in the medical field, the more responsibility that you have. So before taking on that responsibility, especially at such a young age, I was 19 when I started nursing school, I wanted to make sure that this is something that I wanted. And being an LPN allowed me to work with all different types of people. I've been able to communicate with different professionals within the interdisciplinary team, and I've been able to learn from physiotherapists and learn from occupational therapists and see a little bit of everything. And now I realize that nursing was really the best decision for me, because personally, I actually really like being a nurse. I love the flexibility that nursing gives me, and I love how broad nursing is. It really doesn't have to be limited to the bedside. And I do have a video on 5 non-bedside professions that you probably have never heard of. So if you're thinking of leaving the bedside, this is the video for you. The next reason why I became an LPN first is because I simply was not in a rush. Like I said, I was 19 when I got into the LPN program, and you may be thinking, well, you know, if you're young and you don't have any kids, that's the time to do it, but not necessarily. You know, I was a brand new adult. I had been a child way longer than I was an adult. I've still been a child way longer than I've been an adult. And even though I wanted to grow up, I didn't want to grow up too fast. So becoming an LPN was still a way for me to take a positive step, or a step into a positive direction that I knew was going to benefit me in the future regardless. I knew that once I had my LPN, whether I decided to stay an LPN or decided to go further, I was once again stabilizing myself and opening options for myself. I knew that I was creating a better life for myself, but I was also giving myself the grace and the time to move forward without putting too much pressure on myself and without rushing myself too much. I wanted to move fast, but I also wanted to move correctly. So I adjusted my speed a little bit to make sure that I could get to my destination quick enough without crashing. And that's really the question that you need to be asking yourself. What can I handle right now? Where am I at in life right now? Does this decision align with where I am, where I want to go, with my current situation, my financial situation, my family situation? What aligns with my current situation? And how can I move forward quickly without derailing and crashing? So like I said, if you are thinking about becoming an LPN, make sure that the decision is one that you are making for yourself. I don't want you to see being an LPN as a limitation. It is a stepping stone, and as long as you are making steps towards your future, you're walking in the right direction. You don't have to take 2 steps at once. It's okay to take 1 step at a time. Some people make you feel like you just need to go straight for your BSN and, you know, stretch your leg over those 4 stairs and try to get there faster. But there's no point of speeding to get to a destination, only to derail and crash and then be set back. That is counterproductive. So take on what you know that you can handle and understand that taking 1 step at a time is still taking a step. And that's really all that matters. If you're in the States and you do a 1-year LPN program and then a 1-year bridge to RN, it still took you 2 years of school. It was gonna take you 2 years to get it regardless. If you're in Canada and you do the 2-year LPN and then you do a 2-year bridge to BSN, it was still gonna take you 4 years to do regardless. So I need people to really like do the math in your head. You're still putting in the same amount of time in school. You're just doing it in increments instead of doing it all together. And I don't think one is better than the other. But anyway, you let me know what you think down below. If you're an RN, let me know why you went straight for your RN. If you're an LPN, why did you go for your LPN instead of your RN? Do you plan on going back for your RN? Let me know down below. And if you guys are interested in following me on my LPN to RN journey, which is going to be starting soon in a few months, then don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notification bells. Like this video so it could be pushed out to more people who will find this information helpful. And don't forget to connect with me on my socials, which I will leave down in the description. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.